The Puuya Foundation, it's a charity that's working to empower and build everyday leaders in the Lockhart River Aboriginal community in Cape York, Queensland.
Puuya is the life force of our people. It's about owning our own problems and issues in our community and trying to get the strength from the inside looking out again and make it better for the next generation that's going to come along.
Puuya means the heart. Now everything that comes out is from the heart of the directors and the workers and the people of this community as well.
What makes the Puuya Foundation different? It's community-led. The majority of our board members are traditional owners from the community, so everything we do meets community needs. It's not someone from outside saying this is what's going to solve your problems for you. But we do bring in outside partners so that we've got the right expertise here to work and create the future that they want.
I think it's a wonderful model of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people working together in partnerships. People like me, we've just been on the edge with encouragement and support, and I like to think empowerment.
People would say here, we want strong Puuya, because with strong Puuya we can do anything.
Puuya Foundation is the facilitator, you know. Its focus is on creating a better environment in the community, and that's in all aspects. That's in economics, in basic lifestyle, working environment and so on.
Lockhart River is a small, very remote community. There's about 600 people here that have come together, various clan groups from mostly sea people, but some from the inland that were brought together to the Lockhart River mission. The government took over and moved the community from the old mission site and moved the community to its current place in Lockhart River.
They have a history where they're really forced to be there in 1924. They were under very strict conditions, more like indentured labourers, and they were used and treated without respect for their customs and for their language.
Prior to the Puuya Foundation being formed, you know, I think the community has lost its direction because of the younger population.
Well, there's a lot of young ones just walking around with no jobs, or sometimes they offer a job but they don't stick to it.
We had a lot of social issues here with alcohol and drugs and gambling, and a lot of youth disengaged. I couldn't believe that this was Queensland, this was Australia, and we still had such disadvantage. The police, the clinic, the school, we have no Indigenous teachers, nurses or police.
We only got about 5 or 4 graduates this year, and some of them are actually in a job.
Because we're an Indigenous remote community, we rely on government funding, and that creates barriers, you know. There's a lot of stop-start programs or dead-end programs, as I call them.
It's just visits and go, but there was no training or empowering to take responsibility.
A lot of well-meaning and well-intentioned organisations, including government, come and decide what needs to be done, and it's not working. And there's a lot of money wasted. When I came and did some work here, I saw very inspiring leaders who were trying to do great things for their community, but really weren't getting the right assistance to do that. There was something else needed here for the community to be empowered and to create the community they wanted.
When the Puuya Foundation started, we did a community plan, and then we also did a Puuya strategy. The idea was to try and capture the weakness in the community and try and steer it in a better direction.
It was identified that the early years was a mess, and yet that was the critical part for life and for life chances for children here. We arranged work experience, we arranged other training, we got funding, and we built a team. Now our centre is different. It's community led and community run, and it's the community who's working out. This is the curriculum we want.
That's the area that we've misinterpreted for such a long time in getting the social side to actually focus on the importance of their children or their grandchildren, you know.
And it's critical because that's when the frame for your life is formed, in that 0 to 6 age group, when children take in everything and that shapes their brain connections.
And I think it's very interesting to see that our women, our young women, are coming forward to join the Puuya Foundation.
The younger ones look at that, they don't think, well, I want to be like that, I want to be like uncle, so whatsoever, I want to be like auntie. They change the way that our kids going to think, actually thinking about they want to be somebody, to make our community be proud of them.
Behaviours really reduced, Like it's not as wild as it used to be. The eating habits changed. We have like a table where we eat dinner, where we kai. So that's a big difference because most of these people in Lockhart don't have dining tables.
Now you can see the interest they have, and they're coming out of their own shell and do things for themselves, and they try to show people that they can do it.
That's the beauty about the Puuya Foundation. It's not tied to some government red tape, and I think it'll have more strength and continuity in addressing issues in the community. It's about laying a foundation that the next generation can build upon, you know.
The reason we became involved with Puuya and the Lockhart River was because they are so isolated. We felt if we can somehow do something to help a community such as theirs, that would be as though we were championing it. Since we've visited twice now, we are more than happy that this is our decision, that that's what we would like to champion, and they are a very strong community.
I think the Puuya Foundation is having a great impact because they're very strategic in what they do and very thoughtful. They have that vision that this is a long-term commitment, and we're really delighted to be on board with them.
We are building a building, but what we're doing is employing local people here and training local people for programs that help families have the strength and be able to engage with their children and their children's learning.
We depend on each other so much, and you can't bring up a child on your own. You know, this centre will give so many things to women for themselves.
It will open doors, it'll open doors of opportunity. Because the last thing we want is for our children just to come back and live in Lockhart. We'd like them to go out and explore the world, you know, and then bring that skill back.
We want them to have security, we want them to have jobs and employment so they have choices in their lives.
And hopefully in the future, if we have enough money, Puuya Foundation is hoping to take education right up to the top until they walk out.
Maybe 10, 20 years we wanted to see a lot of graduation from our young ones and into better jobs.
Be more involved within the community, become strong leaders, and run Lockhart River properly.
Solutions need to come from within the community because that's the essence of empowerment for any human being. But it's not to say that the answers all lie here, which is why all of the work we do with the Foundation is in partnership, both to bring in the right expertise, but also for reconciliation, so that non-Indigenous organisations are learning from the community and the community's learning from them, but also to sustain the changes that are needed here.
Through our centre, I'm hoping to build the family relationships between all of us, and so that we come together as a community and become stronger.
If the Puuya Foundation wasn't here, it'd be impossible for us to try and address some of the social fabric in our community, because there's no one focusing on that. And I think that's the important role that the Puuya Foundation is going to play in the future, is to change people's attitude and behaviour for the betterment of the community.
We have less people in jail later on. We have less people with chronic illness. We have less problems in the community. We have people who've got a direction and believe that they can learn and create their lives if we invest at the beginning. I see great potential, but we have to invest our effort and our resources into the right places to get that. By doing that, we're empowering people to create their own future. And there's nothing more powerful than that.
I believe the support is just vital from the Puuya Foundation for the Lockhart River community. We're very, very fortunate and privileged to be able to be in the position where we can help.
It's a wonderful honour to be the patron of the Puuya Foundation and do everything we can to see that it operates with energy, professional skill, enthusiasm, support.
We are relying on funds that come from various organisations to Puuya Foundation.
The biggest challenge the foundation faces is to get a very large capital base so that the foundation can operate off the investment income rather than the capital. And that would require significant donations from corporate Queensland and corporate Australia.
It's engaging in the private sector. Therefore, I think it's in a more practical environment to deliver because it takes time, you know.
We know what the Puuya Foundation is doing is working. We've been doing it for about 10 years. The challenge for us is getting the money to keep operating the services and doing the capacity building work year after year that we need to do for children, for parents, for leaders.
Through the Puuya Foundation and our centre, we will change the future of Lockhart River.